Hi all, welcome to another Blitz Banter or Banter Blitz at Chess 24. It's Sunday, it's 12:30. I'm just going to wait a little bit for the preview to appear, my own personal preview. There's a little bit of a delay. So I'll mute that as well. And I'm ready to start. Okay. Let's look at the challenges. First come, first serve basis. Azure missed. I hope it's all okay there on for you guys on Chess 24. Oh, I should look at the board. F4, knight F6. Okay, all right. There, I did have the From's gambit in mind sometimes against F4. And also, if E4 and you play knight F6, the other kind's defense. I mean, I sometimes play it, but yeah. Let's look at the board. It would help. I'm streaming from a slightly different location. There's subtle clues that might be provided, like a dog barking in the background. So, slightly different location. I'm playing for this E5 here, so threatening E4. I hope everything is okay on this streamer setup, because it's actually first time from here on the stream setup. I hope it's okay. It looks okay on my preview. I've had a haircut recently. My barber recommends it actually. Like, yeah. Well, not just from the money side. I think yeah. Okay. I have to have it cut regularly. It helps skin breathe, etc. So okay. Let's see. Let's see. E4 has been prevented. So what about Rook E8? Would I be weakening F7? So I'm threatening E4 here. Yeah, these are my glasses at my other location. So you see slight subtle differences from my usual. Yeah, these are actually very expensive from Spets Direct. Very, very expensive. They filter out blue light actually. So in theory, there's been some anecdotal evidence about blue light filtering. Apparently, it might be an issue. They haven't got total evidence for it yet, but yeah, it's got a blue light filters, stuff like that. Okay, so let's see. So E4 again prevented. Can I do this? Just hitting E3. Miktel almost beat David Howe. Congratulations. He's a when he was a kid, he was brilliant. He crushed me at Blitz, I must admit. Yeah, I think yeah, you got it. he's an amazing player and very nice, very charming. Last time I chatted to him, London Classic in the lifts or something. Yeah. Okay, so well done, Miktel. Almost is now. Almost is you know, whatever. You got to take whatever you can get, can't you? You got to celebrate it. So I'm threatening E4 here. All right. So I'm hitting the D3 bishop. There's an isolated pawn here. Now this I kind of like because I'm hitting H2 now. And maybe I'm ready to play Queen H4 even. If H3, I think Queen H4. I think this is dangerous now because if takes, then Bishop H2 check, King H1, Bishop G3 check, King G1, Queen H2 checkmate. But I might be threatening Queen G3. This needs more calculation to support HG. Let's see, Queen H2, King F2, Bishop G3, King E2. It doesn't really go anywhere, Queen G3 at the moment. So maybe a less speculative approach is just to get this bishop on G2. I can do that with Bishop C6, Bishop D7 to C6. Or a quick B5 even. Bishop takes, Bishop B7. I've got to factor in rook d7 now though. King h8 maybe. So if bishop b7 takes, queen g3 threatens mate. No, it doesn't. Anyway, you get the picture that maybe b5 is interesting. Let's have a look at this queen g3 again. Doesn't work, no? Okay. I'll try the more modest. I'm wondering b5 or b6. That's the question. To b5 or b6. b6 or b5 takes. Bishop b7. Bishop takes. Queen g3. It's not immediately threatening much. Although it does seem like good for a laugh. So I'm going to play it. I'm going to play it. It is a forcing move. It is forcing an issue here about taking that bishop. It looks fantastic actually in its own right. From a positional perspective, if I get this bishop on this diagonal, it looks pretty fantastic to me. Even if it's like the exchange down. Oh! The queen is a hanging piece here, you know. I mean, when I say hanging, it's like unprotected. So I'm wondering about this position. If FG, if queen f2 maybe for rook f8. Oh, and then there's queen f7. Maybe bishop g3 is better. Oh, he's blunting that. Okay. Could be a bit of trouble here. Now there's rook d7 to be worried about. I'm going to take here. So I get this f file. There's rook d7, a bit of a concern. But I'm hoping, because my bishop's on dark squares seem okay here. This f file, I'm looking forward to the f file really. But also, if you can imagine, okay, I think I want to take here. So FG, big threat, Queen G2, Rook F8, check. That looks good. If I'm not getting mated, it'd be a bonus. So I'll take on C2. Alright, so let's go with this. The check. Oh, hang on. There's knight f3. I haven't factored in knight f3, haven't I? Knight f3. It's not all over after knight f3. Oh, he resigned. I think knight f3, to be fair. Let's have a quick... it might be fine for white. Alright, thanks for the game anyway. I think, you know, knight f3. Maybe here. Yeah, I think I might have done better with a different move. I'm wondering, like, rook f8. Because then if knight, I just take, and that's more dangerous. I think maybe I'll do better with rook f8, actually, to be fair. Okay, next challenge. Moby. Hello, Moby. How are you? Okay, let's play e4. No, I think the auto commentator was a bit annoying at the moment. If you can just, if it's got more settings, maybe we should try it in the future though. Keep the options open for that sort of entertainment thing. So Aliquine defense, and I think I'm going to play. Yeah, I've got this line which I've been trying to play with limited success, and is not allowed here. Okay, there was a line with a quick queen h5. It's not happening here. This e6 now has been played. So okay, fair enough. If I have a knight on e5, the bishop's slightly hemmed in here. Okay, can I'll risk putting it on a4. It is a bit of a concern putting it on a4. There's actually, isn't there a 1972 match game, Fischer and Spassky, where Fischer actually played the Alekhine defense with black and won that. He won the a pawn, but Spassky had some, you know, strong counterplay. But anyway, here my center is getting undermined. This looks as though I've got the possibility of bishop c2 later. I'll take that off actually, because yeah, my center's under great pressure otherwise. Yeah, let's hold this d4, maybe pop the queen over here. Queen f6, knight e4, queen g6. Maybe queen h, let's change that to queen h5, queen f6, bishop c2, and then knight e4. Okay. This could be unpleasant. Do this anyway. So queen g6. I wonder if I just try and, I think probably I should hold on. No, bishop c2 could be dangerous. I'll keep that as an idea. I'm wondering, you know, I'm targeting c6 anyway soon with rook c1. Maybe this rook should be used just to unpin. Right, so then I've got bishop c2, which, you know, if f5 is played, it looks a bit, oh, f5 is played. Knight e2 is not possible. I wonder f4, is that terrible? Or just g3? What about g3? Tactically getting run over here, so that if f4, the e pawn might drop. Mind you, my d4, it's not ideal. If I take, I'm just wondering about this position, if there's anything going on. Maybe I fix things just to make sure f4 is not happening. Yeah, this is a little bit annoying. Can I be left with at least the c file to try and get hold of with rook c7? I'm going to give a strongish pass pawn though. But if I get rook c7, it's not entirely one way the game. Okay, this c file. Is on a4 as well, actually. Okay. Maybe bishop f2 for queen d3. Doesn't look like much. h3, king h2, then back for bishop e3. Oh, okay. Queen c8, I guess, is happening. If I try and tempt a little blunder for a moment. So queen c8, I take, and then queen e6. Okay, I'm tempting a little blunder. I've got to watch out for my back row, but there's bishop g1. Does that mean I could take another pawn, potentially? Should I dare take another pawn? Well, the ending here might be. I don't think I've got any entry point. That's the thing. If I play Queen E5, I want to improve the position somehow. This gives my king some air. Let's get the king a little bit securer. What to do with the bishop? Maybe G4. And takes F5. Where does this lead? Oh, okay. Here, just to protect this diagonal a bit more. I think this must weaken his king a little bit more than mine. Well, I hope it does. So, okay. Right. Right. Yeah. This could be tricky. If I do... that's too dangerous. Let's just do a waiting move for a moment. Just worrying about these isolated pawns. If takes, there's another set of isolated pawns here and here on takes. Alright, let's see. Is he going to play G takes or not? That's kind of the same effect of fracturing the pawn, so I'll take that opportunity. I do wonder about F4 though. That king's getting a bit cheeky. So the pawns are pretty isolated. The clock situation needs to be factored in as well, and the relative speed of both players as well. So let's protect this. Right, there's nothing cooking at the moment, it seems. If I get my king to F4, that might present some more pressure on F5 if I don't get mated. Is that a winning thing necessarily? I'll give it a go. Oh, it might be Zugzwang here, actually. Oh, there's a fighting game, thank you. Maybe a very fighting game. Well played. I was worried. Butterfly. Hello, Butterfly. And you've got a Tau. Everyone's a fan of Tau here. You've got a Tau avatar. I think that game was a case. I mean, I wanted just to try and get a little bit more of a positional thing going with the fractured pawns. Fractured pawns are like a, you know, commitment to handle. So yeah, there could be pressure here, which could be annoying. And how to play this position. I've played it with white actually sometimes as well. Okay, I'm hoping this might be okay if I play to kick this bishop, which is not threatened anything, but here now this A2 could be vulnerable. If I don't play on that side, if I play for B4, I don't want a castle because bishop H6 seems too scary. I'd rather play for some sort of attack over here, knowing that the queen's kind of committed here. I know my queen is committed here. I mean, both queens are committed, but my king is still in the center. On e5, I wonder about just the knight retreat actually to g8, because then f5 could be useful later. For example, e5, knight g8, bishop takes, knight takes, followed by knight f5. But on the other hand, there's knight e4 to d6. The knight on f5 would be a tempo on the queen though, and be protecting d6. So knight e4, knight f5. I'm hoping this is okay. Knight f5. Knight f5. This is interesting. Knight e4, knight f5. It's going to stop that. Okay, so this could be a problem. Knight e4 to d6. Yeah, okay. What about knight? I don't know. I'll wait for knight e4 for knight f5. That's a cheeky thing to do because it blocks the bishop. So in other words, I can do this. I was just wondering about that, you know, how to protect d6, but maybe, you know, it's with tempo. Now I'm wondering actually if after the queen moves somewhere, I know there's g4 threatened, but can I just go ahead with a5, a4, takes, knight d6, king f8. Well, I think it gets to be an exciting position, so that's why I'm going to play like this. So I'm threatening b takes. Try and generate some things over here with my queen, my rook. So takes, okay. Knight d4. We're taking here. Alright, so knight d6 is happening, I guess. King f8. Is it necessarily terminal? It's dangerous. Is it terminal? There's still some c-file maybe stuff. Maybe there's knight c2 here. I think I want to try and open up a line or two. There's a check. Ooh. I'll defend the mate threat there. So queen f6 is next. Try this. For queen d8. It's a bit grovelly. No? What? 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 He's convinced about queen f6, but there's rook h7. Is that even mating actually, this position? Oh, okay, so there's bishop d5, or there's taking the rook. I think I'll take the rook. I think there's is there an overexcitement, or am I getting this wrong? Am I about to be mated? I'm hoping it was based on overexcitement, because I might have Queen D8 here. It looks as though I'm living to tell the tale, as I sometimes say. Knight E4. Alright, let's hold the 7th rank for a moment. Can I go on the attack? Yeah, I think probably I was let off there. That was well played, though. I mean, I was scared. I was scared. Well played. Okay, I'll disto. Yeah, I mean, I think that was over excitement about Queen F6 being mating, so maybe it wasn't. Rook H7 only, but sometimes an only move is a good move. Rook H7. I'll play this because sometimes I think this can spring into life, this diagonal, even by playing like this. I'm wondering EF and G4 now. You see, I'm wondering about the light squares generally here. If a light square strategy, almost as if I'm playing a Grob now, attack, Michael Basman Grob, is more justified. Maybe even with like Knight F5 and D4 coming up. Knight F5 is, I like knights on F5. It's Kasparov's favourite place for a knight, especially if opponent castles. And also D4, maybe Bishop E3, Queen D2 and castle queenside. How many of you are looking forward to the World Chess Championship? Ooh, what's this? What's this? Huh? Huh? No. No. I cannot believe it. Oh, this cannot work. There doesn't seem to be that many pieces around my king. That's why I'm thinking intuitively, but got to be careful. This diagonal could be dangerous, and also Bishop E3, D4. So, yeah, D5. King H2 is an option. Yeah. Could get scary. Okay, so what do I do about D5? The check? Ah, it's here anyway, immediately. I missed that. That's scary when you start missing moves, when one starts missing moves. As one does sometimes. Yeah, just immediate check. Okay. Rook f2, queen g3 for bishop e3 springs to mind. Except I drop b2. If I did that, I'll drop b2. I don't want to accelerate rooks coming down to f2 if I take on g6. Well, that is tempting to try and weaken, you know, go for, I need my defense, I think. Okay. I know it's getting scary with bishop d6s now. I think I need to connect things up. I do want to. I'll play bishop g5. Maybe for knight d5. And then queen h4. So knight d5. CD, bishop d5. He's threatening e4. So there's rook f7. Rook f1, e4, and I'm in big trouble. That might not help. So I think rook f1 for king h1 is probably a safer bet, just to get my king out of here before e4 becomes a major concern. Knight d5 here though seems crushing CD bishop because of rook f7. Yeah, seems crushing here, hitting the queen because of rook f7 in this particular position. Because if CD bishop d5, king here, queen h4 is mating. If rook f7, rook f7, it doesn't matter about e4. Right, let's say the queen moves. Sometimes, you know, the best form of attack is defense. The best form of defense is attack. Okay, but maybe, okay, king h1 here would seem plausible against e4. I've actually got bishop f4 now because the knight's actually holding f4. Fascinating. So e4, actually the effect of playing e4 has been reduced with this knight here. e4, bishop f4. If I just play c4, basically I want e4 to be played. I know that's funny, but I actually want it to be played now. Maybe there's even just knight f4. Maybe knight f4 is better. So bishop f4. No, maybe there's rook f4. There's knight f4. So bishop f4, knight f4. So CD, bishop takes d6. Bishop f4, knight f4. Rook f4, knight takes f4. I'm threatening bishop d6. Is it going to be, if I play bishop e4, rook e4, I suppose. Do I need to move that knight? Well, I like my pawns there. And 2 pawns here and a nice pin. If he takes, yes. I like my centre pawns now. So I'm still the exchange up. I just simplified basically the exchange up with big pawns. So I'm wondering about e5. There's knight d5. I like the battery. I'm not sure. Yeah, there's always rook f4 trying to get the queen away from h3. Why not just e5 here? There's no rook f4 yet. I'm looking out for rook f4. There's no queen d5 yet. Knight d4 for queen d5. What about d6? Knight d4 d6. There's queen c6. There's queen g2. I don't mind this. Those two centre pawns look gigantic to me. Be a horrible pin if knight d7. Yeah, very, very. You guys are worrying me today. Thanks for the game. I'll just say that was very dangerous attacking dynamic sacrifice. Talking of sacrificial dynamic, Michael Tao, Michael Tao, sorry, Mikhail Tao. Oh dear, no, let's not get that down that road. Mikhail, you gotta it's got to be painful to pronounce it. Yeah, it's got to reflect generations of Russian domination of the game. No, I'm not saying it properly. I'm not saying it properly. Mikhail Botvinnik, Mikhail Tal. Okay, rook ad1, bishop b1, knight d4 maybe, e5 maybe. These are all interesting ideas. e5 looks like I could potentially support that pawn. It looks like a dangerous, you know, a wedge pawn, you know. On the other hand, I might need to play c4 if I want to play knight g5, hitting h7. So c4 and then knight g5, and then I'm on h7, trying to provoke some weaknesses. Okay, so what was that? Knight b6. So play like this. So threatening bishop h7, h6 maybe queen h5. Oh, I don't mind this. This looks like a gorgeous position for a pawn because I might have knight h5 to f6, knight h5 to f6. Just in time, actually. Thanks for the game, Mikhail. Thanks for the game. That was a good one. Yeah, I thought it was dangerous, that wedge pawn, and I'm always terrified with black if my opponent's got a wedge pawn and I'm castling kingside in over the board even though. Always blame the mouse. Okay. Always blame the mouse, yes. Hello, are you there? Always blame the mouse. What should we avoid? And remember to that tick box for creating a game. It needs to be. Oh, we're here. I'll try a French defense. maybe Watson's dangerous weapons knight c6 idea, because I don't like necessarily going down the completely understood path by everyone in the world variations. So knight c6 is less explored territory. So where you're hitting here, trying to get this f-file dynamic. There was once a game I simply saw in this thing called the Chess Beat, which was a compilation of newspaper chess articles, and this US grandmaster had played this knight c6 thing and with a quick e5. I was just really impressed with the dynamic play, dynamic aggressive, which you wouldn't really expect from a French defense. And there are certain quite strong British players, not like IM or GMs, but slightly less than that, but like Dominic Mackle, he had one British championship, he played the knight c6 French with fantastic results. I think he nearly got an IM norm. So this position here is, by contrast to a lot of French defences, is actually quite dynamic aggressive. I've kind of pinned that knight down for a start, as long as my d5 pawn isn't that weak, and there's some congestion here. In any case, I think this is a dynamic aggressive position. So I'm immediately threatening the bishop. Okay, can I just do this, or is knight e5? Well, I don't have to worry about knight e5, I think. Or do I? The back row might be vulnerable, I hope. But let's see. Knight takes, queen f2, king moves, knight takes, bishop takes, knight takes, queen takes, rook, queen f1, mating. Yeah, at the moment there's congestion this way as well. This back row is slightly vulnerable. These things are not. Yeah. Okay. Let's see, knight takes. Is it worth playing knight takes? Actually, it might be worth playing just this, because knight takes, I have queen takes hitting h2. And the bishop is actually winning material, because if I'm hitting h2 and also e2 with three things, then this position looks winning. Knight takes, queen takes, looks immediately winning. Knight f3, queen takes e2. So this looks poised for vulnerable points, which at the moment I think e2 and h2 are quite vulnerable potentially. Yeah, I think this is a position where this simply threatening mate, and also e2. So knight f3 protecting against the mate, queen takes e2. Or, in fact, just bishop takes. Okay, thanks for the game, always been mouse. Thanks for the game. Yeah, I like the knight c6 Frenches sometimes. Tricanti, hi there. There's an interesting, if you get an interesting dynamic aggressive position, you know, that's what we want, isn't it? Well, especially if you're a dynamic aggressive player, yeah, you probably want dynamic aggressive positions out of the opening. So yeah, sometimes you can get that from the knight c6 French, but if you want more preparation on that, if you did want to try it, there is Watson's dangerous weapons in the French book. Okay, so I think one of the top players I beat was Peter Sauer. I think he's an FM. So I used knight c6 French against him in one of the British Championships. I think it was knight c6 French. Okay, so let's see. Try and clamp down on b5. Right, this position. I don't like weakening my squares just to win a pawn there. Maybe g3, f5, but then he's threatening f4. Oh, go on then. Go on then. Do your gambit. I have got the option of bishop f1. I don't need to open up this bishop. I'm wondering if bishop f1 might be more sensible. Although my king now is stranded in the center. I'm just wondering if f5 I can take and then rook g1. Alright. There's always the no, what about bishop d6 then? I'm just wondering about this possibility of rook c1 without dropping a5. Yeah, rook c1, there was queen a5 maybe. So if I'm protecting a5 first, then rook c1. Is this rook c1 any good? Any good? Okay. Can I challenge this knight to go away? Because not losing my dark square bishop is a different story. If I take, and then I've always got bishop d4, so this pawn is just weak. I mean, they're fractured a bit. Okay, this position. Again, I'd like to play, ooh. Okay, if I castle. I know I'm a bit airy here. That doesn't seem too clever to be airy over there. On the other hand, there's more going on than that. Maybe I'll just take and try and use the G file. If king h2, is king safe enough on h2? Just preparing for any rook g1. Or could I just double on this c file? Although it seems at the moment as though, yeah, that's very interesting, the knight on b5. I'm not used to a knight on b5 like that. Can I just... Oh, no, I don't know about g5. Rook c4, just try and seize this c file with queen c2. If I can seize that c file, that would be nothing, because there's no entry point. That knight on b5 is interesting. It covers c7. Alright, so what's going on here then? Right, if I go like this to go into e6, and maybe even queen h5 at some point. f4, yeah, okay, go like this to support rook c7. If I get rook c7 tactically, and sometimes it could be useful across this second row, but another thing about this, do I get time for knight e6? If f3 there's a check, I'm also threatening check here anyway. It says rook c8, which just loses the queen probably. So rook g1 check first. Now queen d3, just hold my rook. It's getting a bit hairy, I've got to say. I'll take this guy to pin the rook for a moment. Now I assume the queen takes, and I wonder about queen takes f3. And if rook takes g1, queen f6, well, there's rook g7. If rook g1, king g1, that seems safe enough. So queen takes e8, queen f3, rook takes g1, king takes, seems safe enough. As long as I'm not dropping h3 or anything. Prepared for knight d4, I can always take with the bishop. So rook g1, king takes. Yeah, I think my king's a little bit okay here. Don't think queen f6, rook g7 is too clever. The check here, I think king h2, bishop f4, I'd take. King g2 is not necessary. Not necessary. I'm threatening queen f6 now. Well, when I say threatening, what does it actually threaten? Maybe bishop d8, f6 is nifty. This bishop d8 is supported by the knight, actually. That's a nifty resource. If knight d4, yeah, again, bishop f6. Well, even here, knight d4 anyway, same effect. Mind you, there's bishop f4 there. Mind you, king h1, and then the bishop's loose. Unless there's some back row trick, this is not working, right? Just king h1. I can't see a tactic there. Thanks for the game, Tricanti. Thanks for the game. Shadow Maids. Very interesting games today. Okay, Shadow Maids. We have a London system. I'm going to resist e6 because of this idea that the bishop might come out to f5. I think this might actually be the position where queen c2, bishop f5, but anyway. Did I want to play knight c6? Because I am allowing technically bishop takes b8. Maybe I... that's interesting. Bit of trivia. Should I have played knight c6 to avoid bishop takes b8? Would White really want to give up dark square bishop there? I'm keen to like support the pawn chain against any e4. I don't want this c4 being weak. Now the knight does support b4. That's why I like the knight. Bishop f5, it can be chased, and this is a correct pigeonhole. h6, bishop f5. It's nice to have the bishop on that diagonal. I'm going to do that. I'm going to do that. Ah, I stopped bishop f5. No. Okay. I have to be worried about e4 a little bit, but maybe e4, b5. That should be fine. I'm just worried about this pawn chain being undermined with e4 again. But yeah, I think I can undouble the pawns and fragment a little bit. If the pawn is here, there's a fragmented pawn here on takes. Then there's things like rook a3 and b4. So I think b5. I'll protect against knight c6 and taking. I can take with the bishop now. But b5 is on hold. Actually, that previous idea takes and then rook a3, rook c1. Well, I could take on a2. Knight b1. Seems awkward. Maybe I can improve things here. If I take first here, then yeah, takes. bishop a3 for bishop b2. Yeah, this looks interesting. If I just take and then bishop a3 for bishop b2. So bishop b2 threatened. Yeah, that's fair enough. All right. Can I? If I'm just testing now, just testing. It protects the a pawn. Yeah. Let's just check this other defensive stuff. Rook a1, rook a3. Is it really the case knight b1 is played, or does he play king d2? Maybe it's of no significance. Rook b2, rook a3. Again, it might not be of any significance here, knight b1. So, probably, I should get castled, knight d7, and then think about things. This remains anyway, slightly fractured. Maybe knight b6 to a4 is a good torture plan. Yeah, I like that one. I think a knight on a4. The c3 one is the one to torture, I think. b5, b4 creates a passed pawn, actually. Maybe this is something of interest, just to create a passed c pawn. And have a nice bishop on d5, rather than having to take like this. So a nice c pawn, and a nice bishop on d5. Hitting the rook here. c3 is looking as though it should be a concern. I'm going to maybe continue with rook c8. Not bishop a6 necessarily, because, well, there's bishop a4, but bishop e2. So maybe even getting the bishop in is possible along this diagonal. So rook c8. Okay. Bishop a4 not possible. Bishop a4. I have to pin, don't I? Because if I move back, I think he just takes and takes on c3. If I pin that, a pawn with knight b2, tactically. Threatening bishop, actually, as well. Yeah, I think if I had moved my bishop, bishop takes a4, rook takes a4, knight takes c3. Alright. Bishop a6 is possible for bishop c4. So if takes, I take the rook. If takes here, I'm hitting the rook. I think this is possible for bishop c4. There's bishop d3. I think there's bishop takes b1 here. Probably stronger than bishop c3. Bishop takes b1. There's rook a3. I don't want to lose my bishop on b1. Bishop d3. Bishop d3 seems as though that should be not losing a piece necessarily. Rook a2, bishop a3. So bishop d3 seems safe enough. Rook d1, there's not possible knight d1. I don't think the rook's doing anything particularly. Oh, okay, f7. Is that a problem? Maybe I'm just going to take on a3 and call the bluff here. Oh, hang on. There's no bishop d6. I don't think there's any big... Famous last words. I don't think there's any big danger here. I might not be seeing it, but... My f7's... This guy's protecting f7. Okay. Thanks for the game, Channel mate. Thanks for the game. London system is always a tough nut to crack. Koval, hi there. Okay, so Smith, Mora, Gambit. I don't mind this position. I'm surprised actually people accept the gambit. Well, there's ways of declining it with interesting positions. .95 ED. Prepare for E5 maybe. I'm just wondering about knight d4 there. Is there rook d4 or is there e5 after? Oh, there might be knight d5 after that. Knight d4, rook d4 to protect the c4 bishop. I'm just wondering if I need to move the bishop just yet. I mean, maybe I'm wrong about that. Maybe I should move the bishop next move. Maybe knight e5 simply. Knight d5 though. Knight d5 here. Let's move the bishop. I don't know. Not entirely sure. Not wanting to castle yet. There's no defensive knight there. I'm a bit concerned here because he's not castling. If he gives his home address to the king. Okay, please, castle. No, don't want a castle. Okay, don't then. That's structurally committal though on f5 and d5, that move. Although d5, you know, that knight's pretty good actually. He's fractured my pawns a bit more. And he's controlling d5. This bishop's kind of hemmed in, but I'll try and make the most out of things here. The bishop's not so much hemmed in now. I'll do this. Now d5 is ruled out. Well, no, it's not ruled out. Queen's protecting the pawn. I was about to say it's ruled out. It's not ruled out. Can I even take here? I mean, maybe he's got rook here. As knight takes e7 check. Right, I think d5 is ruled out. Although he's playing for it. Can I use this h file? King g2, rook h1. Or do I get slaughtered later? Right, bishop e4 just to keep a clamp on d5. I think that would be a positional move. if it's possible. If it's possible, d5 knight d5. Okay, let's hope it's possible, because actually that will make way for things like g3, king g2, rook h1. If I don't have to worry about, well, maybe rook d2, rook h1. Then yeah, maybe queen f3, h3. Okay, okay, what is this? Didn't expect that one. This battle for d5 carries on. I am concerned, for sure. If I just sack the exchange, that'd be the most dumb thing ever. I wonder. Rook b4, knight d5. That's one way. For a pawn, is the pin just immediately fatal or not? Can I just play knight d5 here without getting exterminated? Oh, that's a revolutionary thought. Everything on light squares away from the bishop. I hope my king also can be on a light square. I'm getting another pair of rooks off. Rook b3, rook, no, it's not possible. There's a4, isn't there? That's the pain, isn't it? a4. Is there rook d6, a3? Rook d7, I don't know. I could try it. So I'm on d6. Am I getting mated? That's the question. Oh, he's going to check my back row check, g3. Not sure I'm getting mated. There's always g3. Current e4 trying to win a rook with that check on check, and then bishop f4 later. But for the moment, okay, this extra pawn. No, there's no extra pawn. I have to play g3. Do I? I'd say probably. Could take, it's double pawns. Rook d7 here. Look at the clock acceleration, relative pace of both players is useful to factor in as well. Playing too slowly. I'm playing too slowly. I gotta speed up. hopefully without dropping everything or getting mated. It's very tense, very good fight. Thanks, Cabal. That is really, really a good fight. I am just, yeah, great counterplay. We were both trying to counterplay each other on the other squares colour. So you were playing on the dark squares, I was playing on the light squares, and yeah, it makes for a fun game. Tense. Hi, Kramnik student. Okay. King's engine defense. Classical variation. Let's just go for counter attack. I know it's like bayonet attacks really, really like popular mainline-ish nowadays. Give me a little bit of a tempo. Surely that's not accurate for me to get a tempo for what I want to do in any case. I'm happy with that tempo gain. I'm sure it shouldn't exist. The bishop could have gone to a3 and stuff. Can't even do this. So f3 is immediate g3. It looks like accelerated attack scenario. Maybe just knight to g5 and bishop h3, or queen h4, then a knight to g5. I don't think I can use this knight, it's not possible, but this knight can go to g5. This is a Raymond King Nimzovich favourite, the knight going to h1 to re-centralise. Raymond King talked about it, I think, in I like his books I've got, actually, for a moment. Nimzovich, a reappraisal. Right, so does this like work? Knight g5, or I get mashed? You know, knight d6, knight h3 takes bishop h3. What would I be threatening? Bishop takes and queen h2. Takes queen c2. Let's swing a rook in here with tempo. Rook f6, bishop e5, rook g6, takes knight h3, takes bishop h3. It looks, you know, pretty dangerous stuff. If I did sack that to get a rook to g6. I'm going to do it because it seems a lot of fun. It just seems a lot of fun to do this pawn sack here and this one here, because I want this position with the rook here and the knight sack. I just bet that's dangerous because the queen's over here. Actually, as a bonus, there's always bishop e6 on this check. Oh, maybe not then. Alright, new plan, g4. For f3. g4 for f3. Oh no! Well, I didn't factor on that one. No G4. Oh, it looks. This is not what I imagined. Oh, not at all. Okay. Oh God. Oh, that's Queen H5. Oh my God. This is not what I had imagined. How come I'm always getting terrible King's engines here? No, I don't know. Did I play adventurously or something? I'm not doing the King's engine defense justice a lot of the time, I feel. Oh, jeez, not again. There's G2, isn't there? King H1. If it takes Rook F2, there's always Rook C8 after. Any little tactical ideas should tell me. No, Bishop C5. Ah, I should work them out now before it's too late. Bishop C5. He sacks the exchange. I think Bishop. Hang on, G2. There's Rook F1 in that line. I think the problem is, as I mentioned, is Rook C8 at the end of this. Ah, go with Bishop C5. Rook F2 to H2 is attractive because it's checkmate. Unfortunately, Knight G3. I can't get my king up here. That's crazy. Well, here, F6, King A8. G2. Rook F1. Oh, try this. I was wondering if it, like, I wasn't doing anything. Oh my God. I thought I was doing something with that. That was such an idiotic thing to do. Trying to make things difficult. I think we have a draw. I'm going for a draw. No, you can't win them all. And you're lucky, because if I was in a multi-round tournament where I'd have streak broken, I'd probably try. No, I'm just kidding. I would try. No. The Paris is fault. Anyway, blimey, I was on the edge. Yeah, this is really exciting games today. Really exciting. I don't know if I need to play something more side. I need to throw away the King's Engine. You guys are all watched videos on the bayonet attack or something. This is not what it used to be. I tell you, this bayonet attack business. I might have to check out the bayonet attack, the theory of it. What am I supposed to do nowadays in theory? Or maybe that's why they're not playing the King's Engine, because of the bayonet attack. You know, you don't see too many top GMs apart from Nakamura playing the King's Engine. I know there's like Simon Williams plays King's Engine a bit. I need to check it out, bayonet attack. I need some ideas there. But no, well done. Not to take any credit away from Kramnik Student. What a fantastic game. What a fantastic game. Okay, this is a scary position, isn't it? I think I've been punished before playing b5 without castling. I have bad feelings when I have this position. As though, am I going to get hacked, or am I going to get some central counterplay? I'm hoping bishop b7 to e5. Is possible. So it's got the best game award today. That King's Engine. Yeah, it was really good fun. Really good fun. Well done. Oh, mind you, there's an irony there, isn't there? Kramnik students. Irony. Who put off Kasparov playing the King's Engine defense? It was bleeding Kasparov, wasn't it? There's several key games that I was meaning to do a series on the Kingscrusher channel about one day, about how Kasparov dented, Kramnik dented, Kasparov's enthusiasm for the King's Engine. It goes back to that actually, as well, even before the when Kramnik beats Nakamura in the King's Engine. And he even gave me a tempo. Yeah. No, I'm not playing. You've got to be ultra resourceful tactically to get the most out of the positions. And my whole. Anyway, let's not talk about that game. I've got to talk about this game. This is the position here. Am I going to get enough pressure on e4 or not? Do I get to play d5? Then knight e4. At least I want to blunt this bishop away from h7. So I'm transposing it into a kind of French defense thing. If I'm not losing a pawn on e4, which actually I'm not entirely sure. Well, that hits d4 anyway. And this is on h7 with decisive effect. Should I take out this bishop before it does the damage? Is that f6? That's scary as well. There's bishop h4 to slow things down, because it sort of pins the knight and keeps the bishop on that side, where threatening knight e5 if he plays f6, right? So I'm wondering, bishop g5 is prone to h4 at some point. Bishop h4 could be a nuisance move. You never know. Or it could be a tactical target. Takes. I wonder. The two knights against the two bishops, but this swamping of my king side is you know, you can't take this lightly. One cannot take this lightly. Moves the knight somewhere. I just wanted the tempo. How do I avoid getting mated? Or do I think about some sort of attack as a sort of form of defence? It looks as though I've got no pieces around this king at all. His king's having a great time. My king's getting swamped here with f6, potentially. And if I play d4, hitting the queen. Actually, I'll probably swing my queen over here with taking. Oh, blunder. Alert. Thanks for the game, Brilliant. It was tense position there. Very tense attacking play. PHC, hello. Okay. Is PHC around? Let's try French knight c6 again. I kind of like that as weapon of choice. As a surprise weapon of choice, because the Tarish is actually really theoretical nowadays. So knight c6, I think people will be less prepared in this. Knight c6. You've got gambits in Blitz, but you've also got surprise weapons in Blitz. I mean, the same sort of principle as well. Well, especially if you can, from the surprise weapons, get dynamic aggressive positions without sacrificing pawns. But in both cases, they're kind of more offbeat than the mainline stuff. So sometimes in Blitz, you want to get people thinking. I've had this before. I'm not too terrified by bishop e5. Better not take, because I think knight takes, that pin would justify things. Knight and bishop on b5. Okay, am I threatening anything? No, his bishop's protecting his queen. I'm wondering knight takes, but his bishop's protecting the queen here. There's no pin. Positionally, sacrifice rook f3 is interesting to consider for knight e5. Then knight, ooh. But then, you know, queen f3, maybe queen f3, knight e5 isn't so. Although Although, still tempting. Okay. This light square bishop might be good on the diagonal. If I played knight b8 for a moment, because I want to play c5 and bishop a6, it supports bishop a6. Bishop a6 is actually an immediate maybe concern for white as well. So I needed to protect both pawns. Okay, can I kick this guy out? There's always knight b5. Well, there's bishop d8. And there's also bishop e6 there. Bishop b7 might be interesting for d4 later. And bishop f3 doubling the pawns. This position, I'm wondering if I should play bishop b7 because d4, queen e4. On the other hand, I don't get everything, do I? Because the c pawn's weak. I think I should go for this because I'll be hitting the knight. So cd, bishop d5, hitting the knight. Well, threatening bishop f3. Is that queen g6 here? Oh, there's queen g4, isn't there? All that. If I played h6, I'm wondering h5, queen f5. Well, this is like g4. Might be. Blimey. g4. Is that queen? Alright, queen e8 then, just in case. This position, is that for real g4? I think it might be. Just in case, it doesn't seem to exist. Okay, oh, what's this? I can pin this knight. Because taking here, there's knight c7. What if I pin that knight first? Rather cheekily. So I've got both knights attacked. From okay, because he might have been trying to distract my bishop for knight c7. I guess that was the evil master plan. So by pinning that knight, both knights are now en prise, hanging. Let's have a look at knight e6. Bishop takes b5, hitting the queen. Surely that's... If queen g4, I think rook f7, I can avoid getting mated for a moment, at least. And there's bishop h6. And bishop d7. So bishop g7, bishop e6, rook g7. So bishop g7, bishop e6, rook g7. And we discover check bishop g4. So this position, I'm hoping rook g7. Seems okay. Take this one off. Thanks for the game. That was tense. The game. These are all really exciting games. I must admit, these are really exciting games today. Do you not think they're more exciting than usual? Work hard, play hard. Hello. That's a good saying, isn't it? Work hard, play hard. Is it? No, I think it is. I haven't really thought about it that deeply, but it's a saying, isn't it? King's Gambit. Was it all work makes Jack a dull boy or something? There's another one. I'm sort of happy with this position out of the King's Gambit. I wonder if I need to play h3 actually, just to make sure knight g4 isn't coming around, because that would be annoying for the bishop. Right. So if I take that, d5, is my pawn's loose? Knight a5 or something? Are they kind of loose here? It's possible. I wonder if I can play b3 without getting stimulated. b3 looks as though it might be possible. I guess there's b5. I'll worry about that when I see it, which will probably be now. But I want to just castle, I think. In principle, I want to castle. Hang on, hang on. No, I thought b5 was the one I was worried about. Feels like a little bit of consolidation here, but yeah. Knight c6, bishop d4, that sort of thing. Okay, a delay on knight c6 just to protect e3 for a moment. Unless there's something else going on there. Rook c6. Bishop f6 for knight e4 looks. Okay, b4 for knight d3, knight e4, threatening knight f6. And the knight. Seems consolidating again. Didn't want to drop f4. Why not just got g4 here? F5 even. Let's imagine this position. F5, queen h6. Oh, queen d4. Thanks for the game. Well, I play hard. Thanks for the game. Now let's decline from non-premium. I keep making that mistake. It's declined from any non-premiums. You have to be a premium member, guys. Chessie, hello. Actually, I've just noticed the time. It's not. It's been quite a bit, so maybe we should wrap it up this week. I think, unless Chessie's coming back. I'd just like to say thanks. It was great fun. It was thrilling games. I really found them thrilling. And I don't know about you guys, if you found them exciting. If you say 1 is exciting, is boring. Sorry, 1 is exciting and 10 boring. No, hang on. No. Let's do 1. Hell, 1. If 1 was boring and 10 was fun, how would you guys vote? Just out of interest today. Sorry, 10 fun. If on a scale of 1 being boring and 10 fun. Very good show today. Thank you, McTowell. Yeah. 11 McTowell. Okay, great. Anyone else? Alright, just in case, it's nice to be appreciated by you guys, and I also got some appreciation earlier today from Reddit, as if I'm one of the better lecturers. So yeah, I'm a happy bunny today. We got a game. So shout out to Reddit Chess. If you don't use Reddit Chess, it's a great place. Very lively. So we turn on the auto. yeah. He doesn't need caffeine, this guy. Just for the last game, we couldn't make it a ritual to see how the auto commentator evolution is going. Is it on? Is he on?
A6.
I think he's on.
A4.
He doesn't need coffee, this guy, apparently.
B6. Bishop B7. Knight to F6. Bishop to E3.
Yeah. Thanks, McTowell. I don't know if it's to do with location or the weather.
Bishop to B4.
I'm gonna be structurally damaged here. This is not nice, is it? Oh dear, I don't know what to do about this now.
F3.
There's trade-offs in chess though, because if he does that,
give it to me.
Like, there's a trade-off that the commentary's sometimes good here from this auto guy, and sometimes he's really annoying. That's another trade-off. But here, look, the double pawns are traded off for dark squares.
D5.
They need to turn. I think the worst thing. Should we take a vote on this? Is the worst thing the give it to me bit? Is give it to me X times the worst, you think? Or is there something? Maybe we should give some feedback on that, because for me that is the worst. if he said it like twice, you know, once or twice.
Give me that.
And here's repetition as well. It's like a fundamental feature of it.
Knight to E5. King H1.
Can I just blame the auto commentator for any disastrous position reached? I blame the auto commentator here. Not my no credit to my opponent. Bishop B4 was
Here we go with
cool,
Knight C4.
Oh my god, I'm losing the exchange. Okay, I'm losing C3. I'm losing something. This doesn't looks as though I'm being stuffed. Wait. If I take that pesky knight.
Boom! Ba-boom!
This is the most grovelly game. How comes... This is such a grovelly game at the moment. Oh my god. I think the repetition needs to be taken out. It's excess repetition. It should be taken serious. I think it's a revolution.
Knight to D4.
You know, potentially. Say you were in a mood and you wanted some sort of auto commentator to perk you up or something. It could be like one of those customized AI robots, couldn't it? Like, not that I've got one. I haven't got one yet. You know, those that sort of do your vacuuming and stuff.
Oh man, seriously, Queen to G3?
Yeah, seriously, because like, you know, isn't there like Bishop H6 or something? You know, my pawn structure is falling to bits. So what do you do? What do you do if your pawn structure is falling to bits? What do you do? You know, beggars can't be choosers. Yeah, you got to play for the counterplay when the pawn structure is falling.
Give me that. Give me that.
Mind you, there's Queen D4. This gets worse and worse, doesn't it? There's Queen D4 on Bishop H6. Doesn't actually do anything. I could set a little trap. Bishop F4. If it worked, I don't know if it does actually. Bishop E5 because Knight E2. Well, there's Queen G7. Set a dirty little trap. Because I can't see anything else to do.
Here we go with Bishop F4.
Ooh, I've blundered. Ooh, I've blundered. Ooh, I've blundered. Ooh, the knight. Oh, ooh. Queen D4, Bishop E5. It is, you know, ironically, it is on a dark square, and he did weaken his dark squares by giving up his dark square bishop. There's a certain
I have
tactical
no clue what's going on here.
irony. So my fellow commentator has no clue, but you know, I think there's a certain irony of the dark squares here. Maurice Ashley's voice, yeah.
F6.
Can I play Bishop H6 now? Anyway, because he's blocked that kind of diagonal. So Queen D5, I can mate now. Rook F7 is a sort of.
The rook comes into action with Rook F7.
Yeah. Oh God. Can I play Bishop E3? Because I don't like all these loose pieces everywhere and stuff.
Bishop to E3. Knight E2.
Yeah. Well, we got opposite coloured bishops. Is there anything clever I can do here apart from except losing another pawn? Seems as though I can take on B6 and then play Rook F2. Maybe I should just go for this.
Give me your pawns, baby.
I know, he's taking all of them. I blame you, auto commentator.
Give it to me, give it to me, give it to me.
Especially
give it to
the
me,
repetition.
Give it to me.
It's grating. It's grating. It's grating. Oh!
Give it to me, give it to me, give it to me, give it to me, give it to me.
Jeez, look, it was on request. Someone wanted you on. Okay, otherwise. Rook C1, Rook D8 after. Any tactical tricks to play for here?
Bishop D5.
Well, there's Rook C1 if I wasn't getting back row mated. Actually, I might not be because there's Bishop G1. The question then becomes, like, the Queen's too passive, so I don't really want that position anyway.
A5. Be
Queen
careful
F4,
with this
Rook
guy.
C1. Try and win the Rook. Queen F4 for Rook C1.
Queen to G6. Here we go with Queen F2.
I can sneakily try and win the A6 pawn and queen my A pawn. Top secret plan, confidential. Queen F1, Queen A6.
Queen to C2. Baboom.
Well, here works for Rook C1 as well.
Queen E3.
But the other plan is just to go for A6. These aren't very deep plans, are they? I think Dvoretsky had it right that they're not always particularly the most profound, deep plans in blitz chess. I've got to say. Dvoretsky, rest in peace. Just want to go for this a6 pawn.
Bishop c4.
It's not letting me do stuff, is he? What about
Queen
queen
to
d8?
D2.
Hang on, there's a nifty idea of a queen sack in some lines here, surely.
Bishop d5.
It's not happening, is it?
Rook to
Can I
b1.
go
Looking
back
for
to
some
this
open files.
other secret plan of a6?
Queen a4. This is the best you can
Again.
do. Really? Queen to e2. Queen to e8.
Finally,
Top chess is not your specialty.
finally getting something. I got to speed up now.
Queen to d7.
So I put the bishop
to
on
C6.
g1.
Doesn't look
Let's
bad,
put
actually.
a6, a7. Hopefully without
A6.
getting mated. Maybe queen f1 to try and...
Queen a7.
Oh,
Rook c2. That's it. You won. That's it.
what do you think of today's matchup? Manchester United against Chelsea. I'm not really into... My dad put me off football. He took me to see this Blackburn Rovers match once. It was like a draw, and that was my only time I went to an actual stadium in real life. And yeah, but no, I was a token follower of Tottenham Hotspur. I got all the stuff in my room, and I got all the football sticker albums. I spent loads on that and the swaps. But no, that was when I was a kid. I'm not really great into football actually at the moment, except international football. I think my best enjoyment was Brazil, watching Brazil, the coordination of Brazil a few years back. That I really found that enthralling actually, but apart from that, it doesn't usually excite me too much. Well, I suppose the goal highlights are a bit like chatmates in chess. But anyway, so okay, football aside, yeah, lessons to learn from today, in summary. I don't know. It's so many games. So many games were really exciting. So no, definitely. You know, I'm one of the more beatable ones on here. That's for sure. But I didn't lose today, did I? I think it's one of the few days I didn't lose. So, any comments, questions, likes, appreciated on the video, please. Thanks very much. Because I didn't lose. I tried to get my rest. I didn't plan any yearly tournaments or marathons, you know, that excessively. So I tried to get my rest for you guys. Okay. All right. So thanks very much. Comments, questions, likes, appreciated. Cheers then.